2018 Volkswagen Golf Hatchback Review. The good points of Volkswagen Golf Hatchback: spacious yet compact, efficient choice of engines, GTI and A provide thrills, even better post-2017 facelift. The bad points of Volkswagen Golf Hatchback: expensive to obtain, options are pricey, evolutionary styling, GTD isn't a diesel GTI. The Volkswagen Golf Hatchback is among the best-known name badges of the car discounted. It's been for sale in the UK since 1974 and we're currently within the 7th generation, having a major facelift completed in 2017 and keep the design and technology right up to date. It's more expensive to acquire than almost all of its rivals, but given the selection of equipment being offered, the be watched in the petrol, diesel, hybrid and electric selection of power plants plus the sporty mainstays on the Golf GTI and Golf R, it's nearly impossible to find a version in the Volkswagen that won't suit you. Watch full details, 2019 Mk8 Golf News, Details and Tech. Watch VW Golf GTI vs Hyundai i30N vs Peugeot 308. Volkswagen Golf 2018, the rivals. Battling within the fiercely competitive lower-medium hatchback segment, the VWs on the collective might on the Ford Focus plus the Vauxhall Astra primarily. But these types also contains other talents such as Honda Civic, Hyundai i30, Kia Ceed, Mazda 3, Peugeot 308 and Renault Megane, along with in-house rivals within the forms on the seat Leon and Skoda Octavia. Those pricier Golfs can even find themselves being compared to their Audi A3 Sportback sister cars, along with the BMW 1 Series, Infiniti Q30, Lexus CT and Mercedes-Benz A-Class. Evolutionary Volkswagen Golf styling. Golfs have fairly conservative choices, hence why the look bloodline frequently occurs to all 7 iterations with the VW. As per industry norms, this version's greater than the model it replaced, but it's still a concise hatchback in contrast to many rivals as a result of its near vertical tail. That hasn't hampered either cabin space or practicality, with one with the roomiest interiors on this segment, along that has a 380-litre boot. That's not the largest on this segment, nevertheless the 60 hours 40 minutes split folding rear seat does tumble flat for additional flexibility. If you'll need more space there's always the pseudo-MPV Volkswagen Golf SV, and for all out carrying ability within this family, the capacious Golf Estate. Inside you'll discover the high-quality ambience VWs become acclaimed for having an exemplary amount of fit and complete, with premium-grade squidgy plastics used in the main planes with the dashboard. Broad choice of Volkswagen Golf power plants. Boasting one on the widest lineups of power plant permutations, you'll be struggling not to find a version in the VW Golf that satisfies your wants. Every petrol and diesel engine version is turbocharged for both power and efficiency and all sorts of feature Volkswagen's Blue Motion fuel-saving measures, including stop-start. Petrol engine start which has a 1.0-litre, 3-cylinder TSI with 85 horsepower and 115 horsepower, as the rest from the mainstream range is fleshed out with 4-cylinder 1.5 TSI VOS in 130 horsepower and 150 horsepower outputs. Watch, long-term test, living having a Volkswagen Golf GTE. Reviewed, Golf GTI and Golf R hot hatchbacks. Both the Golf GTI and R versions feature 2.0-litre TSI turbo petrol engines producing between 220 horsepower and 300 horsepower dependent on the version chosen, adequate for a high speed of 155 miles per hour as well as a sub 5.0 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time for your quickest. Additionally, VW offers performance derivatives of both GTI and R, with extra go-fast uptice on an even more engaging drive. The GTI gets to be a limited slip differential within the front axle, power as much as 245 horsepower and brakes, as you move the R gets to be a higher top speed, larger brakes and 19-inch alloy wheels. A titanium sports exhaust is available about the latter, too. You can watch about these fast Golfs inside the buying and selling area of this review. See below for just a shootout relating to the VW Golf and GTI, GTD and GTE. VW upped the ante even further, having a stripped out and strictly special Golf Gti Clubsport S in 2016 boasting 310 horsepower, as well as a top speed of 164 miles per hour. For those searching out the efficiency of diesel power, the 1.6-litre TDI also comes in 110 horsepower form, whilst the 2.0-litre version is accessible in outputs of 150 horsepower or 184 horsepower when you opt for your sportier Golf GTD. Official fuel consumption claims rate the Blue Motion version at 83.1 miles per gallon. If the opportunity to drive with electric propulsion is vital, there are two choices. The plug-in hybrid Golf GTE is often a sportier take for the familiar theme, as the e-Golf is usually a pure BEV, battery electric vehicle, without conventional engine by any means. The claimed range is 180 miles between recharges. Facelifted Volkswagen Golf from 2017. Spring 2017 saw the arrival from the mildly facelifted Golf hatchback range. Visually, the modifications are restricted to new bumpers and lights which utilize a higher proportion of LED technology. But, nonetheless, VW is calling this the most significant midlife update inside the Golf's 40-year history, which just demonstrates the pace of change inside modern car industry, and that almost all of the changes are under the skin. As such, the facelift focuses largely on technology, with regard to both infotainment and safety. There's a 9.2-inch Discover Pro touchscreen option, by way of example, that with the available active info display fully digital instrument cluster, VW's version of Audi's virtual cockpit, completely modernizes the inner. Discover Pro even incorporates a rudimentary gesture control system that permits you to swipe certain functions without touching anything whatsoever. Latest deals from Volkswagen are: Volkswagen Golf 1.6 TDI matched, £12,195, or £187 a month. Volkswagen Golf GT 1.5 TSI, £23,500, or £366 a month. See all deals on Volkswagen Golf. Representative example, representative APR of 7.9% borrowing £10,509 over 48 months on HP type finance. Just how much payable will be £250 30 days. That has a total cost of credit of £1,483 plus a total amount payable of £11,992. Dennis Car Limited, 3132 Alfred Place, London, WC1E7DP, GB09151058, is often a credit broker regulated by FCA, FRN: 667368. The verdict: that wide choice of power options is combined that has a variety of trim levels to aid tailor your Golf a lot more to your liking. The specification hierarchy is complex and incorporates a large amount of performance-oriented versions. All versions are well furnished with aircon full of rear passenger air vents, height adjustment on both front seats, a color touch screen for that infotainment system with DAB radio and Bluetooth connectivity, and 7 airbags. There's additionally a wealth more cost options to pour up to tailor your Golf much better your specific needs, whether it's enhancing safety or upgrading the multimedia system. In short, there exists a reason it's known as the people's car. We have a Golf for every individual, and whichever version you end up picking, you recognize it's going to be a safe and secure and hugely competent choice. Volkswagen Golf Hatchback Review. Smooth, economical engines. Hybrid and electric options too. Performance versions offer thrills. Regardless of whether you ultimately choose a petrol or diesel engine for one's Volkswagen Golf, performance and efficiency will likely be boosted with a turbocharger. Watch, we compare the VW Golf R against its Seat Leon Coupe rival. Even the petrol unit from the plug-in hybrid incorporates a turbo, but in case you'd rather you have a conventional engine by any means, there's a completely electric e-Golf. Fuel miserly diesel Golfs. Despite the varying power outputs, all in the TDI engines inside the Golf are generally 1.6 or 2.0 litres in capacity. The smaller 1.6-litre TDI unit was originally launched in 90 horsepower and 105 horsepower guises, but all on the current versions produce 115 horsepower. Although outright speed isn't the name on the game here, both 5-speed manual and 7-speed DSG automatic transmission versions can reach 123 miles per hour, even though the 0 to 62 miles per hour test takes 10.3 seconds and 10.5 seconds, respectively. Pre-2017 facelift, there was additionally a Blue Motion version from the 1.6-litre, with assorted aerodynamic body aids that can help it cheat the wind in the efficiency quest. Even though the smoothed-over bodywork helps the very best speed increase to 124 miles per hour, this would be the most fuel-efficient from the diesel Golfs by having an official claim of 83.1 miles per gallon and CO2 emissions of 89 grams/km. We're awaiting news of a facelifted replacement. More performance can be acquired with the 2.0-litre TDIs, provided with 150 horsepower or 184 horsepower in case you go for that sportier Golf GTD, producing 340 Nm and 380 Nm of torque from 1,750 revolutions per minute. Both are equipped which has a 6-speed manual as standard, while post-facelift the optional DSG has become upgraded from 6 to 7 ratios, in line using the rest from the range. The lower-powered version in manual form can do 134 miles per hour along with a 0 to 62 miles per hour period of 8.6 seconds, 133 miles per hour with an identical 0 to 62 miles per hour to the DSG, as the GTD improves the stakes to 144 miles per hour and 7.5 seconds, 143 miles per hour and 7.4 seconds for the DSG. Post-facelift, VW has added a GTD blue line trim alongside the normal GTD for improved efficiency. This somehow still matches a normal version's performance. Efficient petrol engines. Smallest in the turbocharged petrol engines will be the 3-cylinder 1.0-litre TSI. Post-facelift, this offers either 85 horsepower/175 Nm or 110 horsepower/200 Nm, the previous capable of 0 to 62 miles per hour in 11.9 seconds, aforementioned the same sprint in 9.9 seconds, making it slightly faster as opposed to old 115 horsepower version. Top speeds are 112 miles per hour and 122 miles per hour. The 1.4-litre TSI remains accessible in 125 horsepower guise with 200 Nm of torque from the lowly 1,400 revolutions per minute. With the 2 6-speed manual and 7-speed DSG, it'll reach 127 miles per hour and acquire from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 9.1 seconds. Joining the product range mid-2017 may be the 1.5-litre TSI Evo, which is included with 130 horsepower in Blue Motion guise or 150 horsepower for greater performance. The Blue Motion can shut down the engine whenever you're away from the throttle, borrowing technology through the Golf GTE Hybrid, even though the 150 horsepower variant makes do with active cylinder technology, ACT, to change off just 2 cylinders under light load. Electric and plug-in hybrid options. Those seeking zero-emission motoring will welcome the fully electric e-Golf, that provides seamless acceleration from the single-speed gearbox. There's 136 horsepower and 290 Nm of torque to be had, which has a top speed of 93 miles per hour and also a 0 to 62 miles per hour use of 9.6 seconds, but since it's meant for predominantly urban driving, this isn't a difficulty. Theoretically, it carries a 186-mile range, but a real-world figure is predicted to be towards 124 miles and is particularly negatively affected further in the wintertime months. Prior for an update in autumn 2017, the e-Golf produced 115 horsepower and 270 Nm of torque. Top speed was on at 84 miles per hour. The 0 to 62 miles per hour time was slightly slower at 10.1 seconds, as well as the range was 118 miles. Cycle over the available drive modes. This also reduces the power output and top speed to improve range. Eco reduces power right down to 95 horsepower, cuts back the power of air conditioning and dampens the throttle response. Top speed is on a 71 miles per hour, as well as the 0 to 62 miles per hour time increases to 13.4 seconds. Eco Plus limits power output further to 75 horsepower and torque to 175 Newton meters. Top speed is restricted to 56 miles per hour, along with the air conditioning remains off altogether. With near silent running and instant, smooth and linear acceleration from your electric motor, its 186-mile maximum range lifts the e-Golf through the fringes into mainstream desirability. Where electric cars, much like the Nissan Leaf and BMW i3, feel demonstrably different to conventional models, the VW simply feels normal. It'll suit people who don't desire to scream with the fact they've got enough, yet still benefit through the lower running costs. If you want being green without having to sacrifice fun, you will discover the plug-in hybrid Golf GTI of interest as a result of its 1.4-litre TSI engine and electric motor combination. It promises GTI-style performance, though with far more efficient running costs. With a top-notch speed of 135 miles per hour, the GTI can sprint to 62 miles per hour at a standstill in 7.6 seconds, yet return a claimed 188 miles per gallon. After driving the updated GTI, we came away slightly disappointed using its noise and gratification, considering the GT aspect its name. The engine sounds coarse and has to become worked very difficult to provide meaningful progress, except for many the ultra-low running costs and variety of standard kit will a lot more than make up for the dynamic shortcomings. High-performance Golf GTIs. The 2.0-litre four-cylinder turbocharged TSI petrol engine inside GTI produces 230 horsepower, precisely the same as the last performance pack, see below, which, in addition to 350 Newton meters of pulling power, means it could possibly sprint from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 6.4 seconds. It's not merely about the raw numbers with all the Golf, it's the way it goes about dispensing that performance that in some way impresses. With a wonderfully smooth and linear power delivery wherever you are within the engine's rev range, there is certainly instant grunt available. Having a 6-speed manual or 7-speed DSG twin-clutch automatic, the previous is more involving, as the latter does make for any relentless display of constant performance. The optional GTI Performance Pack, above, nudges peak power up by 15 horsepower to 245 horsepower from 2017, at precisely the same time adding larger brakes as well as a mechanical limited slip differential to enhance its cornering prowess even more. Speed figures for that 2017 version are yet to get released. Even higher performance Golf R. Fastest in the regular range could be the Golf R. Its 2.0-litre petrol engine would be the same as found within the GTIs, but VW's engineers have reworked it to provide 310 horsepower with 380 Newton meters of torque offered by 1,800 revolutions per minute. It's an exceptionally flexible engine, meaning you've got indulgent power reserves in any situation. Yet it's smooth and straightforward to drive slowly too. Feeling just as quick because its acceleration figures suggest, just 4.6 seconds is needed to cover the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint within the DSG, 5.1 seconds should you have a manual acceleration away from your line, along with the R's standard Fit4Motion 4-wheel drive system. A high-performance Akrapovic exhaust can be acquired as an optional extra around the 2017 Golf R, and we'd heartily recommend its fitment when you're in driver. Adding that little touch more theatre is undoubtedly an appealing prospect. It isn't too noisy, simply more purposeful. Limited edition VW Golf GTI Clubsport models. Introduced to mark the GTI's 40th anniversary in 2016, power for that GTI Clubsport Edition 40's 2.0-litre engine was upgraded to 265 horsepower, although for 10-second bursts that is boosted further to 290 horsepower. manual and DSG transmission options again available, and provides 0 to 62 miles per hour times during 6.0 and 6.2 seconds respectively, while both have top speeds of 155 miles per hour. Crowning the GTI family in 2016 was the two-seater Gti Clubsport S, limited to just 150 examples for the UK. Power ended up being ramped as much as 310 horsepower, resulting in a high speed of 164 miles per hour and also a 0 to 62 miles per hour duration of 5.8 seconds. Neutral, safe handling dynamics. Performance versions have great traction. Adaptive suspension works effectively. By being lighter and wider, this generation of Volkswagen Golf has far superior handling to your iteration that preceded it. Its lower, broader stance, combined using a sophisticated multi-link rear suspension arrangement on although the lowest powered variants, minimizes the VW's body roll so that it is more agile and therefore more fun than many hatchbacks with this segment to operate a vehicle. Electronic stability control for everyone models. All Golfs come with XDS, an element once reserved to the GTI model. In essence, this electronic system reduces the quantity of power being delivered to a front wheel that's losing traction, while through corners it feeds more towards the outer wheel, increasing stability and speed inside process. It also works in conjunction while using electronic stability control, escape, which compensates for virtually every tendency for that Golf to push wide through bends, understeer, making handling more precise and neutral. The Golf is fitted using a variable ratio steering system that responds differently based upon your speed. It will make town driving a dawdle and parking easier by turning the wheels more for the given input with the steering wheel. There may also be different driver modes to vary the weighting, even though at slow speeds it feels a tad artificial. It weighs up progressively as speed increases. Enhanced handling for performance Golfs. If you're looking to the sharpest hot hatch available, next the Golf GTI, multi-talented although it isn't car in your case. Don't for any moment assume the GTI is not a consummate handler. It's exactly that. It does everything basic, committed security. It doesn't matter your speed, it always feels completely safe. There's an aggressive steering system that cuts down for the number of turns needed through the wheel, raising the sharpness from the front wheel's reactions. Additionally, the GTI is obtainable with dynamic chassis control, DCC, with driving mode selection. This allows drivers to change between comfort, normal and sport modes, altering the reactions with the suspension towards the road surface beneath it. Add to the eco, sport, normal and individual modes with the driving mode selection system, and drivers can tailor your vehicle's responses to their own personal desires. Specifying the optional Gti Performance Pack also raises the car's cornering ability. While the common car, plus the GTD and GTE, uses an upgraded XDS plus electronic differential, the Performance Pack adds a mechanical limited slip differential which could send nearly 100% in the torque on the outside front wheel in extreme situations. Having driven the GTI Performance Pack, we feel that differential would be the biggest single improvement over the normal GTI. It provides prodigious traction beyond corners. While driving fast you'll be able to feel it fitting in with provide the optimum level of torque with the idea to side from the car. The Performance Pack also gets larger brakes, and although we didn't find fault with these, we don't think many buyers will inform the difference unless they find the red calipers hidden behind the wheels. You'll need for being using the brakes heavily and repeatedly before their extra potential is usually realized. All-wheel drive Volkswagen Golf R. While the GTI is front-wheel drive, the Golf R utilizes VW's 4-motion all-wheel drive system for superior traction and confident handling in every situations. It functions by diverting torque towards the rear wheels if this detects top ones needs to slip. In extreme cases it might even send all power for the rear wheels, or possibly a proportion with the idea to end on the car as required. The system reacts in fractions of a second. This means you're never struggling for grip. Its huge traction levels are appealing, but keep pushing through them and, much like the rest with the Golf range, the fun ends in a front end washing wide. We did get the steering to your liking, however, VW generally seems to have done lots of work on this, and it's razor sharp. Grown-up handling for VW e-Golf and VW Golf GTI. We weren't particularly enamored with either e-Golf or GTI within the handling stakes. You can sense the extra weight from the batteries in models, and even though you can forgive this inside the pure e-Golf, an automobile that'll seldom find its way onto an entertaining B-road, within the GTI this seems a bit of your shame. It lumbers to very direction when compared to the GTI, which seems incongruous given it includes a higher performance GTI mode button at the gear lever. Upmarket feel on the whole interior. Almost every surface is a useful one to touch. Clear, logical layout to controls. It's information on quality and clarity while using Volkswagen Golf, and nearly all components smacks of the USB ports. From the clear as well as simple to watch instruments through towards the high quality color displays, 8.0 inches in diameter as standard from 2017, and neatly organized switchgear, all things are incredibly intuitive and easy to use. It's also worth noting that optional 9.2-inch touchscreen became accessible in 2017 with a glass front and super sensitive display, and also a powerful processor and gesture control alongside a massive suite of apps. This system needs to be right for the cutting edge of infotainment systems, but an absence of physical buttons hampers its usability. An engrossing experience. The center console is angled towards driver, something you just really notice on the passenger seat, ensuring those driving always really feel engrossed inside experience. And as you'd expect for the VW, the switchgear that decorates it feels incredibly good quality, with solid responses to each and every finger press and twisting rotation. Likewise, the grade of materials used elsewhere from the cabin are exemplary. Soft touch plastics dominate, with less glossy finishes found only the place that the hand isn't very likely to stray, otherwise any contact point feels reassuringly more costly than your vehicle's market price would suggest. Even entry-level models feel special. Even models with the lower end in the specification spectrum feel preferable over the competition with this corner in the market. There's no reason to pay for that upgrade for that full leather upholstery, either, the cloth items display managing to take a look expensive and top quality. However, you will be interested inside active info display, below, an all digital instrument cluster introduced as part in the 2017 facelift. This premium technology feature adds a little wow using its multiple display modes, but may be harder for the eyes at nighttime. Impressive optional adaptive suspension. Cabin is quiet, with supportive seats. Even sportier Golfs display great comfort. Comfort is amongst the Volkswagen Golf's hallmarks, understanding that's true whether you're looking for one from the mainstream models or perhaps a sportier GTD, GTI, GTI or R. The seats, whether the standard variety, contentment seats and the sports numbers give you support very well, having a wide choice of adjustment to have a fine seating position. Those sports seats especially perform a neat trick of feeling properly figure hugging, but enough support and comfort to look at pain from longer journeys. A smooth ride, best for the motorway. Of primary note ought to be the ride quality, which even around the larger alloy wheels and sports suspension provides improvement over other family hatchbacks. No challenging show-up is thrown for the dampers, they take in imperfections, it doesn't matter how sharp, short, extreme or gradual, with instant response and assured reactions. Models fitted together with the optional adaptive chassis control, allowing the driver to decide on between comfort, normal and sport modes to the suspension, perform a lot better. The degree of compliance in comfort mode inside sportier Golfs really impresses. On the motorway it feels right in your house, the engine barely audible at the steady throttle, since the suspension smothers any unsightly expansion gaps within the road surface. There's very little within the way of noticeable wind noise either, and, in spite of the large wheels and tires fitted, road noise is kept as small as possible also. 11 trim levels altogether from S to R via GTI. All feature aircon, DAB radio and Bluetooth. Lots of variation including limited editions. by offering a Golf geared to all manner of pockets and tastes. The number is bulging with trim levels, using a generous roster of normal kit for each on the 11 regular grades. Standard VW Golf hatchback equipment. Entry point with the Golf range is a specification. It comes using a decent volume of equipment, in order that it's almost not a hair shirt special. The exterior is distinguished by body-colored bumpers, door handles and mirror housings, 15-inch steel wheels filled with full-diameter trims. Inside you'll find aircon, electric front windows and door mirrors, as well as a 8.0-inch color touchscreen, 6.5 inches pre-2017, to the multimedia system that has DAB radio, Bluetooth connectivity plus a Think Blue trainer to encourage you drive an automobile more efficiently. Practicality's boosted that has a 60 hours 40 minutes split rear seat and also a variable height boot floor, even though the trudge of urban driving and hill starts is created a little easier having an electronic parking brake. The VW Golf SAG could be the equipment's sweet spot. Pre-2017, the Match Edition was the additional value point inside range. For the facelift, however, VW has reintroduced SAG specification. This includes 16-inch alloy wheels, automatic lights and wipers, back and front parking sensors, electrically folding door mirrors, adaptive cruise control and autonomous emergency braking. Climb aboard so you'll benefit coming from a leather-wrapped multifunction tire, height and lumbar adjustable front seats, a rear armrest and electric windows inside rear. Above this sits a navigation trim, which include the Discover navigation infotainment system and VW's CarNet connected car capability, providing you access for an ever-increasing quantity of in-car apps among other functions. How the sporting Golfs compare. The previous GT edition is well known just as GT again from 2017. Exterior enhancements above the SAG include 17-inch alloys, that's an inch less space consuming than before for increased comfort and improved emissions, chrome embellishments around the top bumper and grille, red tinted tail lamps, rear privacy glass and LED fog lights with cornering function. Plushness is ramped up inside with a lot more chrome detailing, piano black trimming and ambient lighting for any soft cabin glow through the night. Sportiness when it comes to appearance in any other case performance is increased with all the R-line, above. Alloy wheels remain 17-inch in diameter but of Eurasia design, as the rest on the bodywork's pumped up using a subtle body kit. It's suitably racy inside with black headlining, sports seats, metal pedals and decorative dark diamond dashboard inserts. But that's just a precursor towards the family of performance Golfs, starting using the plug-in hybrid GTE. Here there's a good sportier body kit, replete with blue detailing. Lights front and back are full LED, supplemented by way of a pair of C-shaped day-running lights set to the extremities in the front bumper. Handling's sharpened by having an electronic XDS Plus differential, while inside there's dual-zone climate control, tartan upholstery as well as the active info display digital instrument cluster, which can be standard on all of the sportier Golf models. You can continue to have regular dials like a no-cost option in case you prefer. You should step approximately GTE advanced specification to have sat-nav, though, speculate this also includes 18-inch alloy wheels, headlight washer jets and heating not just for your front seats, nevertheless the windscreen washer nozzles you might well think it's worthwhile. Sporty diesel fans will wish to look for the GTD. Here the GTE's blue detailing is substituted for black and silver, so you get 18-inch wheels, lowered sports suspension plus and XT traction system as standard. Generally, GTD devices are similar to GTE Advance. GTD Blue Line is often a new trim level, directed at delivering precisely the same raw performance as being the GTD proper, but having a little extra comfort and efficiency, a trick it achieves by dropping to 17-inch alloy wheels. No surprise that GTI looks similar again. Here the blue highlights are already swapped for red plus the wheels will be the racier Austin type. Scarlet detailing can be used throughout the within, too. Topping the Golf range could be the R, both with regard to performance and luxurious appointments. Adding to your GTI's specification, The 18-inch alloy wheels are upgraded for the Gti's design, along with the suspensions being lowered with a further 15 mm. There's an R-specific body kit and exterior detailing, including a rear diffuser within the bumper with 4 ovular exhaust pipes set into its outer edges. There are few unique hard touches inside, however the instrumentation takes a different approach to lesser Golfs, along with the R logo is dotted around the cabin. Volkswagen Golf hatchback optional extras. As bristling with kit as being the Golf is, inevitably there'll be some equipment you've your heart set on that's an extra cost option, and there's lots to pick from. Don't such as the wheels? No problem, because there are several more alloys available in sizes from 15 to 19 inches based upon the trim level. Various optional solid, metallic, pearlescent and signature paint finishes can be found. A full leather interior will also be specified. No version has it as being standard, as can electrically adjustable front seats. LED headlamp upgrades can be obtained on models who have halogen units as standard, while GTD, GTE, GTI and R Golfs may have their 65% tinted rear privacy glass increased to 90%. Infotainment system upgrades add the 8.0-inch Discover, previously 6.5 inches, and 9.2-inch Discover Pro, previously 8.0-inch, together with additional functionality for Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink. Discover Pro carries a gesture control system, but it has only limited functionality and is really a bit of any gimmick. But even should you ignore this, the clarity and convenience of this screen is incredibly impressive. Other post-facelift options include wireless phone charging. As you move, the active info display is often a reasonably priced option on all models that don't have it standard. Comfort might be improved with dual-zone climate control where that's not standard, while keyless entry plus a panoramic glass sunroof can even be specified. One expensive but worthwhile option that alters that the car handles as a result of its adaptive suspension is dynamic chassis control, DCC, allowing one to firm up or soften the ride quality. Additionally, there's various option bundles, but they're not all provided by every trim level, so check while using VW retailer which combinations are possible. Ambient Lighting Pack. Strips of sentimental light encourage the cabin to glow unobtrusively at nighttime. Convenience Pack. Automatically dimming rear-view mirror, and automatic lights and wipers. Dyne Audio Excite Sound Pack. Upgraded subwoofer with 400W output and 8 speakers. Mirror Pack. Electrically folding door mirrors with inbuilt puddle lights. Performance Pack. Only available for your GTI, the rest consists of the power hike, a finite slip differential, larger brakes and red calipers. Winter Pack. Headlamp washers, heated windscreen washer jets and heated front seats. Volkswagen Golf Hatchback Limited Editions. Sportiness may be the central theme with exclusive edition versions with this generation Golf. Based about the regular GTI, the Gti Clubsport Edition 40 launched in 2016 celebrated 4 decades of iconic sporty VW hatchback. Unique Quaranta design 18-inch alloy wheels, gloss black exterior detailing and bumpers lead the outside changes, while inside there's specific Clubsport upholstery and red highlights, including a leather 12 o'clock mark for the top with the steering wheel. Also launched in 2016 was the Gti Clubsport S, a racier, 2-seater version on the Golf. It was stripped out and lighter weight with less sound deadening, much in the boot trim removed along with superfluous bits and pieces deleted. Racing seats can also be fitted. The alloys are 19-inch Pretoria design and also the exhaust diameter is increased to 65 mm to increase performance. Rated 5 stars by Euro NCAP. Raft of up-to-date safety kit. Many items remain optional, though. There are not any prizes for guessing that Volkswagen Golf safety standards can be extremely high, with all the car being awarded the most 5 stars because of its crash testing performance by Euro NCAP. That's partly into the 7 airbags, including one to the driver's knees, fitted as standard, but also with the array of other safety devices to become found inside the VW. On top with the usual ESP stability system, the Golf also includes automatic post-collision braking, which applies the stoppers to an automobile immediately after a car accident, lessening the potential risk of making contact for some other vehicles inside the aftermath. There's another pre-crash system which tensions seatbelts and closes the gap on opened windows and sunroofs to boost the effectiveness from the airbags when a crash is imminent. It's simpler to avoid a bump due to the front assist and city emergency braking, which warn the motorist if the car right in front is getting too close and brakes the car into a halt whether or not this stops in front of them, if traveling under 18 miles per hour. After the 2017 facelift, this autonomous emergency braking mechanism was upgraded to incorporate pedestrian recognition, in order that it should brake on their behalf, too. A road sign recognition system detects speed limits and displays them within the dashboard, while light assist controls the high and low beam output automatically within the face of oncoming traffic. Dynamic light assist does the identical, but keeps high beam on above 37 miles per hour and easily masks the output only where it is going to potentially disturb other road users. Lane assist keeps yourself on track when traveling within the motorway. Lastly, there's automatic distance control, an adaptive cruise control system that keeps a set distance from your vehicle in front. A driver alert system monitors the driving force's concentration levels and recommends stopping to get a break if needs be, too. In 2017, VW combined these systems to produce Traffic Jam Assist, which aims to do each of the driving for you as much as 37 miles per hour, but only while you're in heavy congestion, and only whether it's in a position to view the lane markings successfully. Do not confuse this system with a lot more sophisticated technologies with the exact same names easily obtainable in more premium cars. Watch VW Golf Hatchback Euro NCAP Crash Test. Flexible, flat boot space is well shaped. All designs include a 60 hours 40 minutes split rear seat. Hybrid and F have slightly less space. Despite its comfortable, borderline luxurious status, the Volkswagen Golf is surely an effective hatchback, with impressive numbers of practicality and suppleness. 5-door versions, which account for that bulk from the range, are self-evidently more family-friendly through far the greater popular body style, even within the sportier echelons from the range. In fact, really the only Golf that isn't especially practical is the unique Gti Clubsport S without rear seats as well as a completely open boot. All other Golfs have a very 60 hours 40 minutes split rear seat that has load-through panel behind the spine center armrest recommended on many models. The seats fold virtually flat too, making a continuous level based on the height you determine the adjustable boot floor. For petrol and diesel engined Golfs, the boot is 380 litres when the many seats are occupied, expanding to a single 270 litres if the back three are folded over. Opt for either the e-Golf or GTE with batteries packed underneath the boot floor that figures change. The complete F model has 343 litres in 5-seater mode and 1,233 litres when the backbench is tumbled, whilst the plug-in hybrid musters only 272 litres and 1,162 litres respectively. The cabin's dotted with good-sized storage cubbies, a variable front armrest and well-sited 12-volt charging and USB points.